Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching in real time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Real Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. This is the award-winning car talk show In Real Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place, along with Jeffrey Zekin, David Ainsley, Don Armstrong here. Obviously, Mr. Mars is off on an Eastern vacation, and Mr.
DeLong
is on a Western vacation.
Oh, wow. And neither the two shall meet.
No, they shall not. So thank you for joining us today. It is Saturday, and it is the 28th day of November, Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
Here,
I was going to wear my turkey outfit, but it didn't
We had
work.
one. We brought one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am the turkey. I've been called that all my life. Don Armstrong, you are the turkey. All right, well, we're going to continue the show, and we've got a regular on our show that we're going to talk to right now. We really appreciate him taking the time out of his Thanksgiving weekend. And, of course, where is he? He's at the Apex Auto Works, and he's at the shop. Yeah. Oh, my God. Richard Tomlin, good morning. How are you, sir?
Amazing. Just a little bit of rain down here in Alvin. Big old raindrops on the roof. Sorry about that.
No, you had no control over that, and neither did we. So we're all in this together. This is a great weekend to sit around and listen to, watch the In Real Time gang. And listen, I wanted to talk to you today about this thing called the Sports Car Club of America, but often called the Secret Car Club of America. SCCA has been around a long time, and I have to tell you that I actually did have, way back in the dark ages, probably about 1978 or so, I went to an SCCA parking lot coned event, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was nice because the SCC members that were there, they were very knowledgeable and helped me understand the rules and helped me get the car ready. This is what I needed to do. These are the rules. This is how you do it. And it was a great event that I remember. I don't remember the parking lot, but it was a parking lot event. And it was a time.
We call those autocrosses. They still go on. We hold them about once a month.
Yeah. And how do you find out about those events? Do you have to be an SCCA member?
That's why we call it the Secret Car Club of America. We're trying to change that. But forever, it was actually done by newsletters. And then we got into the World Wide Web. And now we use actually a lot of Facebook marketing and Instagram, which has sparked some of the growth that we've seen in the club this year. Nationwide, we're up 17% as a club, 65,000 members from one coast to the other. It's the largest car club in the world, I'm told. So it's amazing the disciplines that we offer and what we have. And I think the worst part about our club is most people think it's just pro racing, when in reality, 95% of it is all amateur ranks. It's those of us that are just working on a weekend.
Richard, I'm dating myself, but in the early 70s, my sister was the secretary of the local chapter of the SCCA up in Detroit. My brother-in-law had a Mercury Capri that was all hopped up and souped up. And they used to call them gymkhanas in the parking lots.
That's right.
Anyway, I'm going to do a story on that a little later. But on his Mercury Capri, that's how I learned how to drive a stick. I'd take it out at night and take his race car out and drive it around the neighborhood.
Of course you did. You snuck it out.
I did. Absolutely did.
Yeah.
Well, the gymkhana is what we call the autocross. So
right.
The autocross, or what they call Solo 2, back in the 80s, 90s. But now it is literally autocross and Solo 2. So same thing.
As a matter of fact, that 77 Corvette had a quote-unquote gymkhana suspension on it. That's what they called it back in the day. Yeah. And so, I don't know where the word came from, and I don't know what the description of the word is. I'm sure that Mr. Zekin will give us that. But at any rate, the interesting thing about that autocross that I attended is that Somebody had brought their mom's Buick out there and autocrossed it because the rules at that time anyway. Thank you. Yeah, they allowed that. I mean, okay,
Yep.
bring what you run
what you brung. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still run that way, and basically there's a height width factor that's calculated. As long as you fit within that, come out and play. It's all about getting more people out to enjoy their cars and doing what they were designed to do, albeit maybe at a maximum at some points in time. That's what makes it so interesting. I mean, it's any given weekend we'll have 100, 120 people that show up to go play in a parking lot. Then you've got our SCCA track events that happen, down at MSR. We'll have 140, 150 people from around the country come out to play. Travel to Hallett, Sebring, Laguna Seca, wherever. Anytime there's a race, we'll go play.
So how do you choose a parking lot to have a Gymkhana event?
No polls.
It's actually pretty cumbersome, and it's an issue the club's facing. Is we're losing sites all over the country because now when they build parking lots, they want all these parking lot medians in there. They want parking stones. They want landscaping. People want more lighting at night. Whereas back in the day, a parking lot would literally just be a large, 1,000-yard by 1,000-yard parking lot. Now there's all these solid objects we have to deal with. So locally, we run at places like Gulf Greyhound Park, Remington Park up on the north side, larger facilities where we can actually rent a section. Some of the smaller tracks in town, Grand Sport Speedway, we'll rent that track. We'll set up an actual autocross on that and play there as well.
The horse track on North Houston, Bridgestone used to do a test run up there.
Richard, is it like the one that I went to? It was like you started off in first gear and maybe shifted to second, but you didn't get out of second. It wasn't some high-speed event. Is that still the case?
Still the case. Still geared to be the way our rule set is written is highway speeds is what we should be maximum. Well, in Texas, we're blessed with 85-mile-an-hour speed limits, so
there you go.
We get to go play a little more than some of the other states. But yeah, same thing. Basically, go from first to second. 99% of the cars will complete the entire run in second gear, anywhere from 45 to 65 seconds, depending on how the course is laid out.
How much does it cost to do that? I mean, I'm not a member of SCCA. Do I need to be a member to attend one of these events and participate?
You've got to be a member. We did allow walk-ups for a while, but due to COVID, we changed that and made it to where it's members only. But membership, $75 a year, gets you a magazine in the mail and all kinds of discount stuff, full calendar access, and then our events at what you would call a Gymkhana Autocross, $35.
Wow.
So for a little, I was going to say,
even if you go,
the Corvette, it's time.
Yeah,
it's time, and then you're going to have to teach me how to run through the course because you're much more experienced.
You've been doing it longer than me.
Well, okay, fine. We had to bring the age thing into this, didn't we?
I'm just saying.
But he won't get out of first gear.
I'll forget the shift from first to second and blow it up.
What's that stick?
Yes. So, do you have? All I'm thinking of, what a great Christmas gift for Dad that has the sports car or even the family car, because some of the family cars these days, and I'm thinking Charger, Challenger, Camaro,
right?
Even the V6s. It doesn't make any difference because you're actually just really working the clock. You're not racing against somebody on the track.
You're racing the clock. It's what can you learn about your car and how to drive your car better and improve your car control skills at the limit. That's the goal.
Or a young driver to do that. I mean,
so
obviously
you've got young drivers, we actually run a couple rookie schools.
Right.
And the car control skills that we can deliver to a teenager in a day are life-changing. Even some of the parents come back the next year and enter themselves just to get the experience and skill set.
And for $75 a year, that's that's extremely reasonable.
Yeah, well, I mean, car club dues will cost you that.
Well, you get more than that. You get the magazine and all the notifications on the internet, and plus you've got the camaraderie of the club.
That's right. We can hang out with Richard.
We're at 1,000 members local here in Houston.
Yeah.
So the different disciplines? We've got 6 different disciplines. So any normal event, we're looking at 100 people. Our probably lowest attended events are what we call our rallycross, which will be 50 to 60 people. But most of our events are 150, 200 people that are there on site that are like-minded and want to do the exact same thing that you're doing.
What is a rallycross?
Rallycross is basically just what you were talking about with the Gymkhana, the autocross, but put it in the dirt.
In the dirt?
Oh yeah.
Often we're in the dirt on this show.
We are. We venture
Bring
into the
Corvette
dirt
for that
quite
one.
frequently here.
Yeah, that one is it's a whole lot of fun. A lot more sliding of the vehicles. It's a little better action shots. You can actually see when people make big mistakes because there's big dust clouds. But it's a growing section of the discipline that we offer.
I'm sure that it is, but you know, Don Armstrong is not going to put his Corvette at speed in dirt. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen.
Especially in first gear. What is that behind you? What kind of vehicle is that behind you?
A Miata that we're working on right now. Miatas that we race in what we call endurance races. So it'd be 8-hour races. 2 drivers drive 2 hours 10 apiece and trade out.
Neat.
Regular road course.
Neat stuff. Now, the last time you were on, weren't you you were at the track with those? The last time.
Yeah, we were out at Eagles Canyon.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was, I guess, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now. New track, amazing facility. It was a good day for all of us.
Right.
Where
everybody
is that
brought their
track?
cars home in one piece.
Where is that track, Richard?
Decatur, just north of Dallas.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, because he took the zoom from the golf cart.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you got a hood, a number 7 sitting back there behind you over your left shoulder. What that looks like a
Lotus.
Okay.
Lotus parts, I think.
okay.
So
Yeah, Lotus 7. That's Larry Svotton's adding some vinyl numbers to that and a little bit of paint work. He likes to rub up against things. So what race cars do.
that's what race cars do.
Rubbing is racing.
That's right. So
Yeah.
what else do you have in the shop? I mean, you know, we always like to kind of nose around in there and find out what you're working on.
Yeah, let's
Let me
poke
grab
around.
the phone. Let's flip the camera out and let's walk over to the other side because I do have a car that maybe some of you have not seen before. Japanese car referred to as a K car.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
So it is
That's hot right now.
a Honda Beat.
Right-hand
So
drive?
it runs a 600cc, 660cc motor.
Is that a right-hand drive?
Yeah, right-hand drive car, motorcycle cluster. It is just doggone tiny.
Wicked fast.
It's not slow. We're actually pulling the 660 out of it and putting a 750cc motor into it. But
Wow.
I would say it's almost half scale of what you would think of a Mazda Miata. But in Japan, they're perfect for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, just a small car that just works. So
How do you get a car like that over here to the United States?
you just send people lots of money and it shows up.
Yeah,
It's all
but I mean, I guess for a race car, I'm talking about a car like that you would want to maybe perhaps put on the street. I mean, there's a whole set of things
Yeah.
that you have to go through, correct?
Right. This one is a street car, and basically it falls into that 25-year verification. After 25 years, you're allowed to bring the stuff in without it being a real problem. It's like the one there to my left. That's another, Japanese car. That's a R31 Skyline. This one was actually brought over by a guy in the military, served in our Navy 24 years, spent 20 years of it in Japan, and brought the car home with him. So, sometimes it's military, sometimes it's like the Beat, where the guy actually just paid an importer to bring it in. And it's over 25 years old, so it basically gets antique plates, and you go drive it and you have a good time.
Wow.
Where do you
That's neat.
find that?
Do you? Yeah. So do you find that stuff online?
Yeah, there's a couple groups online, and then honestly, if you just type in JDM, so Japanese domestic market,
yeah.
yep, brings up a whole selection of cars that you maybe have never seen, and people see stuff they like and they fall in love, and next thing you know, the savings account is empty and a car's on its way.
There's actually a TV show about that particular genre, right?
Do you do a lot of work like that on these cars?
We do a bunch. It's impressive, some of the stuff we get to play with, and then we get to see people take them out and race them and really enjoy the cars for what they were designed to do. That's the most fun. And like the Honda Beat, that's getting a bigger motor in it, so it can actually go out there and play at the autocross with us and do a little bit better. But such a small car, it's like a Lotus Elan. It is really good at the Gymkhana autocross type stuff.
So where do you source a motor, an upgraded motor for a Honda Beat? Where do you come up with that?
It's actually, the one we got was out of another Beat. But I will say that most of them, in taking a look at it, it literally looks like it came out of a Honda motorcycle.
Wow.
That's all it is. Just a Honda motorcycle motor that's just set in mid-engine in the Beat. So he purchased it from a guy in California. They shipped it to us on a pallet. 2 days, we'll have it in, and everything will be better.
Well, it's funny because out at Houston Motorsports Park, I'm involved with Gina Child Knowles out there in that 3/8 mile, and those Legends cars have those style of their motorcycle engines in the car.
And they're neat
with
to watch.
Yeah, manual transmission, 6 speeds, I think that they are. And so it's the same kind of motor. And I was really kind of surprised. And those things scream.
It's the reliability, too.
We have one of those as well, and you're correct. It is a 5-speed, and it's a sequential trans, so it's basically just like a motorcycle. Drive shaft runs down the right-hand side, and we got classes to race those in as well. So it's whatever you have, we'll find a place for you to come play and have a good time. Trumps.
So what is the next event for you?
Actually, I'm free. I think till December 20th is probably our next event, which will be another what we call a track sprint, and that should be happening at a facility called Track Speed Sports up on the north side of town. It is a go-kart track, but the track itself was built to house cars. It's 30 feet wide, and we go single file just like you would in the autocross, and basically making our fastest times around the track. Last event, we had a Viper that set a 47.2. To give you a comparison, the closest Miata to him was 0.2 behind, but we had a variation from 47 seconds to 57 seconds to get around the exact same course.
It's not much.
No.
A lot of fun.
No, I'll say. And what are those typical events? Are they Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday? When do they?
Usually Sunday mornings is our goal. So this one that we just had, we got out there at 8 o'clock and we were done by 2. So you're home at 3, no matter where you're at in the Houston area.
Neat.
So how do I find out about these things that you've got scheduled?
SCCA.com is the first place to go. And then if you're in Houston specifically, which we hope some of you are on that are listening to this, HOUSCCA.com. We've got an events page there. You can also follow us on Facebook, same exact hashtag, HOUSCCA. And from there, you will find multiple disciplines that we run, being whether it's road race, pro racing, your autocross, you want rallycross, you want time trials, track sprints, even Track Night in America, where we're taking people out on the track for their first time to give them a chance to learn what driving a car at the limit's all about.
So what are you going to have at this event?
I actually should be driving a Legend. Funny enough that you mentioned that. And then I've got a supercharged Miata that I'll be driving.
Does it have a passenger seat?
Yes, it does.
There you go, Don.
Not that,
Come on out.
Not that I wanted to invite myself, but I just did, I guess.
You're more than welcome to come out, and it would be a very good time. You'd enjoy it greatly.
No doubt. Okay, well, don't be surprised if I just don't show up on your doorstep out there and you go, "Who is this guy?"
There you go. No, we got you covered. We got you taken care of.
All right.
Not a problem.
Richard, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you so much for joining us today. As always, we appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you. And SCCA, go baby!
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Richard, by the way, is also the proprietor over there at Apex Auto Works.
Yep.
Yeah, great guy. Been a friend of the show. You know, we have our regulars here on the In Wheel Time show.
That's what makes the show.
Well, it does. And everybody's very kind with their time because, you know, in most instances, time is money.
Absolutely. And everyone that's been on the show is a business owner in some aspect of automotive anyways.
Yeah, yeah. What we need to do is have, when this COVID thing is over with, which hopefully one of these decades it will be, seems like it just drags on forever, we need to have us a big old-fashioned party over at your house.
Bring it on. I won't be there, but come on.
You won't be there?
He invited himself to that.
There you go.
No,
He's always welcome.
I just pushed my way into the front door. Here I am.
You should attend some of the parties at my house with him. We're going to go there another time.
That's why I don't.
I don't even remember even one of those. There is that. All right. So we need to do some catching up here.
Whatever.
Because, you know, there was one feature that we missed with you earlier, and then we've got another one scheduled now.
Do whichever one you want.
Well, you pick one. I don't care which one it is, but we've got a couple of them we need to squeeze in here before the end of the show.
Well, I'm into squeezing. So what we're going to do is Conrad usually does this. And this is his segment where he does This Week in Automotive History.
Good.
So I was tasked with that in Conrad's absence. And, of course, it's nothing going to be – I'm not trying to take Conrad's shoes or anything because I won't fit him.
Yes, he is.
But this is what Conrad does, and it does a great job, and there's a lot of research in this, and here we go. So This Week in Automotive History, back on – I'm going to get this going here, so bear with me. There we go.
Oh, my God.
There we have it.
That is
On November
one
19th,
ugly car.
Ford announced the end of the Edsel.
Woo!
It was actually 10 years of development. Ford spent $250 million in planning this and
And
marketing.
that's what they came up with.
This is actually in today's money, it's like $2.5 billion for marketing. So this happened and went from 1957 to 1959. They actually did in that 2-year span about 118,000 vehicles. So that's what happened on the 19th of this week.
Wow.
So the next one here is actually famed Ferrari designer Sergio Scaletti. He actually had a shop across the street from
He made
Enzo.
shoes.
No, not spaghetti.
Oh.
Scaletti. He actually had a shop across the street from Enzo Ferrari, and he used to do body work. And of course, Enzo got, they got to be friends and buddies and everything. And he actually did body repairs and did designing and development of some of the Ferrari bodies. The early on Corvette that had the little hounds that looked like a shark's mouth on the old 59s, 58s, 60s. He actually developed
C1
that.
Corvettes.
He actually developed that. So there's that. Moving on to this, November 21st of this week. I don't know if Conrad gives dates, but this goes back to what Richard Tomlin just did. Rally driver and Gymkhana pro Ken Block was born in 1967 on this date.
Well, congratulations to
go.
Ken and happy birthday.
Happy
to
birthday. There you go. So what we have coming up next, this is Harley Earl was born on November 22nd, 1893. And we all know Harley Earl. So he was actually born in Hollywood, California. His dad had a shop there, and he dropped out of Stanford to become a coach builder with his dad. I did not know that. So there you go.
Designer.
Well, yeah, designer,
Famous
coach builder.
designer.
It was called Harley Automotive Works, where he learned the art of crafting. So, craft.
And he did a fine job.
He did, and a good name too. November 23rd, getting closer to Thanksgiving. We have the 50 millionth General Motors car was produced. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning in 1954. General Motors and Thomas Keating drove a gold-plated 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air Sport Coupe off the Flint assembly line. They put it on a trailer and drove it down the streets of Flint, Michigan. Not only that, it was on a parade float. They had other vehicles. Thousands of people packed the streets, glimpse of the vehicle, number of important people and things. And they actually had in the parade the first Cadillac ever produced by General Motors was in that parade.
Wow.
It looks like some little toy set up there.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't even look real, but it is. So then moving on to this, speaking of which, and this will enlighten you, the Autobahn gets a speed limit. Back in 1973, they did put a speed limit on the Autobahn in some areas where the traffic would congest. So there you have that. And they went from 100 kilometers down to 62 miles per hour. Which
That sounds like Richard Nixon's, speed limit when we had the oil crisis.
Yeah, but it only lasted about 4 months.
Yeah,
and it was sort of
because nobody ever paid any attention to it.
No, not at all.
Screw
so
you.
That happened in there in '73. And the last one, my favorite, and Conrad always puts an Oldsmobile into his.
So you're going to
segments.
put a Cadillac.
I
in
put
there.
two. Actually two. Well, there's Cadillac in there.
There's a millionth.
November 25th, 1949, the 1 millionth Cadillac. I wonder what that's worth. It's probably going to be at Mecum. I don't know.
God, that thing is ugly.
Oh, come on, Don.
Oh.
No, 1940. It was a Cadillac Coupe de Ville rolled off the assembly line. It was the 1 millionth. And, of course, featured in this picture here was John F. Gordon, the general manager of Cadillac, Don E. Ahrens, he was a general sales manager, and C.A. Rafferty, works manager for General Motors.
Jerry Rafferty's brother.
Could be. You never know. It was a 331 horsepower V8. Made 331 of the V8. It was 160 horsepower, about 4,250 pounds, almost 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, averaged 13.5 miles to the gallon.
Kind of like a locomotive.
It took 50 years to get the 1 millionth, but it only took 9 more years to get the 2 millionth. Figure that out. So this was done in 1958. So there you have it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Looks like you could have got a few people under that hood. How
Bodies.
Oh,
Yeah,
the truck,
multiple bodies
Absolutely.
under that hood. That thing was
While
huge.
you're driving, yeah.
Yes. I had an Aunt Virginia, and Aunt Virginia and Uncle Jimmy were well off, and they always had Cadillacs. And the first one that I remember had these great big, looked like braziers on the front of them.
They call those Dagwoods.
Dagwoods, yeah. And it was like, I don't know, 54, 55, somewhere in that generation. And I thought, dang, that's ugly. Even then, when I was a kid, going, what is up with that? And they had little black rubber things on there, I guess bumpers or something. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The first design of the crash resistant bumper.
Yeah, that's what it was, crash resistant. It's like trying to uncrash a train. Yeah,
very heavy. I mean,
very
that
heavy.
bumper weighed, that's the 4,200 pounds.
Couple of stories before we close out today. Tesla is issuing 2 recalls. Have you ever heard of a Tesla recall?
No.
I've never heard of a Tesla recall.
Shocking.
9,500 vehicles for roof trim that may separate and bolts that may not have been properly tightened. The larger recall covers 9,000 Model X cars from 2016. The other 401 2020 model year Tesla Model Y vehicles with bolts connecting the front upper control arm and steering knuckles. Now, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, look at there. There goes a tire over there. Oh, can't steer the car anymore.
There's a song about that. Leave me loose wheel.
Yeah, you picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel. Uber Technologies and Lyft have been awarded a federal contract worth up to $810 million to offer their ride-hail services to public agencies and their more than 4 million employees and contractors across the country. General Services Administration, which manages services for federal agencies, issued its final 5-year award this past Monday. And while individual federal employees have previously been able to use ride-hail services for travel, the new contract allows the companies to formally launch their services within agencies and directly work with officials to promote the service. So, Charles, bring me the car. I need to go down to the deli and pick up something for lunch. We'll be right back after a quick break. Stay with us.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy a Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, December 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all in one place. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a 3-hour friends and family event. The Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, December 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too, and you're invited to join us. We'll see you there.
Well, you know what that sound means. That means that we're going to wrap things up and say adios, amigos.
It's all over too fast. It's like a short beer in a cheap saloon.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I'm sure that underwear is somewhere in that whole thing, too. Well, that's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. Hey, when you're on Facebook, please give us a like and tell your friends about us. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features along with all things automotive all week long. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and on InWheelTime.com. 30-minute daily podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict, along with Pandora and Amazon. Special thanks to all of our guests today. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. His royalty, King Conrad DeLong, should be back next week sitting in. Mr. Jeffrey Zekin, we appreciate you, sir. And this week's In Wheel Time Car Show is produced and directed by Corn and Cob Turkey.
Stuffing.
For booking agent and podcast flicker, Mike Out of This World Mars, his royalty, King Conrad DeLong, Jeffrey D.Z. Zekin. Don Armstrong here saying so long for now, and we hope that you'll join us again for our next live show. That's Saturday, 9:30 to noon, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Thanks for being a part of the In Wheel Time family, and we'll see you there.